Here's more wrestling news for February 16th, 2022. And your headlines for this afternoon include WWE roster reacts to Cody and Brandi leaving AEW. Are they coming back to Vince McMahon? Shocking falling out backstage was a reason Cody and Brandi left AEW. Former WWE champion is willing to return to Impact as part of a Forbidden Door collab. Brock Lesnar reveals inspiration for Ponytail look. Who is responsible? Former WWE stable to reunite after being released last November. Kurt Angle in search of a kidney donor for his sick brother Eric. Surprising stipulation to be added to a match at Elimination Chamber. WWE confirms next premium live event after WrestleMania 38, and more. We're kicking off with Cody and Brandi Rhodes, who have left AEW after 3 years. Cody had been working without a contract for months in AEW as his previous deal expired at the end of 2021, and now many think he's set to return to WWE. That certainly seems likely given his team has reportedly been in talks with WWE, and it should come as no surprise that he's been a topic of great interest among the WWE roster. PW Insider reports that the feeling around WWE is one of excitement, especially among those who have worked with Cody in the past. Some talent have also noted that Cody making a return would be the first instance of an AEW talent jumping to WWE, and should he return, he'll be bringing insider knowledge of how AEW operates. As of this time, the former AEW Executive Vice President isn't listed on WWE's internal talent roster, but the belief is that he could be at the Performance Center as soon as this weekend to train for a return. The report adds that WWE could present Cody as a big star in a power play to push the perception that WWE is turning the tide against AEW, with one source saying that a big push or title run for the former TNT champion would send a message to AEW talent that they'd be treated the same way if they jumped to WWE. Cody hasn't jumped to WWE, at least not yet, but WWE are hopeful he does, and if that happens, he may just be the first AEW star to cross a much different kind of door to Vince McMahon. Cody and Brandi Rhodes both had nothing but praise for AEW in their statements confirming their departures, and Tony Khan praised the couple in his own statement, but things were far less cordial behind the scenes. That's at least what TMZ is reporting, as according to their sources, Cody and Khan recently had a falling out, which played a part in their decision to leave. This falling out was because Khan's visibility within the company grew, something that allegedly didn't sit right with the former TNT champion. Dave Meltzer adds that lawyers were involved when Cody and Brandi decided to end their relationship with AEW, and that the decision was made by the power couple on Monday. We can't say for sure what the lawyers had to be called in about, but it's been speculated that Khan was hesitant to allow the pair to leave and wanted to check if there were any legal loopholes. With Cody working without a contract since the end of 2021, we're not sure what the lawyers were looking for, but despite Khan being described as a beautiful soul in Cody's statement yesterday, things have been far less civil behind the scenes, which could now mean a return to WWE. Speaking of shocking appearances, it was 6 years ago last month that AJ Styles debuted for WWE, a moment that fans for years thought would never happen. The longtime TNA wrestling veteran has since had an incredible run in WWE, becoming a Grand Slam winner and two-time WWE champion, but like Cody, he could be on the cusp of returning home. In a recent interview with BT Sports, Styles discussed the recent collaboration between WWE and Impact that allowed Knockouts World Champion Mickie James to appear at the Royal Rumble, and hopes it continues. "I would love to see it, I think it's a good thing. I'm afraid the door only opens one way. There's a lot of library on AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, and some of the other guys and girls. It wouldn't be a bad thing." When asked if he'd be willing to appear on Impact, Styles said he wouldn't mind returning for a brief period to the show he made his name on. WWE is home to many former Impact stars, with Styles, Lashley, Robert Roode, and Drew McIntyre all being former Impact World Champions, and if Styles gets his way, these names could make a splash in the Nashville promotion. When Brock Lesnar returned to WWE at SummerSlam 2021, he did so not only as a babyface, but with a brand new look to match his new attitude. Instead of the clean-cut, clean-shaven Brock fans are used to, Lesnar has sported a beard and ponytail since his comeback, which apparently all started on a dare. During his appearance on the Pat McAfee show, Lesnar said that while he's been wearing cowboy hats and boots for years now, it's his children who said he'd never be brave enough to rock a ponytail, and his new look was created simply to prove them wrong. Lesnar looks much different but no less intimidating, as ponytail or no ponytail, the Beast Incarnate is always a favorite to win, especially in this Saturday's WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match. Last November, WWE released B-Fab from her contract, and 2 weeks later, the rest of Hit Row were cut from the company. Now, all 4 members of Hit Row are free to compete wherever they want, and fans will soon see a reunion in MCW. In a tweet, the promotion confirmed that B-Fab, Ashanti Adonis, Shane Strickland, and Top Dollar would all be at their Spring Fever show scheduled for March 19th. After being released last year, the 4 ex-superstars all promised that they'd continue teaming together, and now the popular NXT stable will all be back in action very soon. We've got some concerning news from Kurt Angle, who has revealed that his brother Eric is in need of a kidney transplant. On Instagram, the former world champion revealed the disturbing news, adding that he's sadly not a match for his brother, and said he wants to give his brother a new lease on life. Though he never reached the same heights as his brother, Eric Angle did have some on-screen WWE appearances, working as a body double for the Olympian during his WWF title defense against The Undertaker at Survivor Series 2000, and the duo would pull the same trick during a WWE title defense on SmackDown in 2003, allowing Kurt to retain against Brock Lesnar. This is a worrying time for Eric and Kurt, and we here at Slatrock hope a suitable donor can be found very soon. Elimination Chamber news now, as the show will see Sonya Deville and Charlotte Flair face Ronda Rousey and Naomi in the first women's tag team match in Saudi Arabia. This match has already garnered some controversy, as WWE is having Deville, their first openly lesbian superstar, compete in a country where homosexuality is punishable by death, and now the match has gotten even stranger. PW Insider notes that during this Friday's SmackDown, a stipulation will be added, saying that Rousey will have to wrestle in Jeddah with one arm tied behind her back. This Friday's SmackDown was taped last week, as WWE will be flying to Saudi Arabia this Friday, and time will tell how the baddest woman on the planet does with only one arm to use this Saturday. And we're ending today with WWE, as their next premium live event after WrestleMania 38 has been confirmed. During NXT Vengeance Day, it was announced that WrestleMania Backlash will take place on May 8th from Providence, Rhode Island. Interestingly, the poster for the event features Brock Lesnar, and given his part-time schedule, many believe this is a sign that Lesnar has to be at the event to defend his newly won Universal Championship. We won't know that for sure until the Beast faces Roman Reigns at WrestleMania in April, but the backlash to their Epic Mania encounter is coming on May 8th.